Hi you guys, how are you all? I hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be talking about a more affordable clean beauty brand. Definitely when you're getting into clean beauty, I feel like the price tags, the sticker shock, I guess I should say, is pretty big. And I remember putting in my first order and it was like over $100 for just a couple of products, and then getting it and realizing that the size was so tiny and being like, what do you mean? Like, how is this even a thing? And of course, like as you get more into it, you realize that creating these cleaner products are more expensive, the ingredients are more expensive, and on top of that, these are smaller brands, so they can't quite afford to meet that price margin that larger brands can. But there are some really great affordable brands out there. I'm going to try and incorporate more of them into my routine because, like I said, there are some really great ones out there. Of course, when you have a more affordable brand, that can mean that there is some trade-off with ingredients, so they might not be like 100% natural, stuff like that. So that's something you should be wary of. Always do your own research. But today I wanted to start off by testing the brand Naturale. And this is a brand, they actually sent me their powder starter kit. So if you go on their website, you can actually try out and sample their products. It's $25. There are 5 skin tone options. Really great idea just to have this little kit put together so that you can sample their products, see if you like them. And if you do like them, it actually comes with a $10 voucher towards your full-size product purchase. They also sent me one of their lip stains, so we will try those out as well. I have it swatched on my hand right now, so if you see it, that's what's going on. But I want to focus today on this little pack of 6 products. So when you purchase the sample kit, whether it be in the cream or powder formula, you get 3 different shades within your shade range, if that makes sense. So for example, I have here the light starter kit, so I have 3 shades in the light spectrum so that I can try them and figure out which one's good for me. Then it comes with a blush, a bronzer, and a powder. It also comes with this little card which kind of like gives you an overview of the different shades. It tells you a little bit about the blush, the bronzer, the finishing powder, and it gives you a little diagram of kind of where to place things in case you're newer to makeup. So one of the downsides of something like this is that, like, you know, when you unscrew it, you have something that's open underneath it, so you do have to be kind of careful when you're stacking these. I'm just going to kind of turn it upside down with this cap on to get some out and just swatch it over here. I'm actually going to apply a little bit of face oil. I just got back from being in elevation, so my skin is a little bit dry and I can feel the powder sticking to it a little bit. Okay, so I'm actually going to go with sand, and I'm just going to get a decent amount out of this little sample pack and then grab like a flat buffing brush. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the way that these samples are packaged because it's kind of hard to get the product out, but I'm just going to start buffing it onto my skin. It's actually a decent amount of coverage for me, in my opinion. I'm also using what feels like a lot of product. But I think with powders, you tend to use a little bit more product than with cream, at least I do. I'm just gonna do half of my face so you guys can see. I'm bringing it under my neck because it's not quite the right color. But I would say overall the coverage is pretty impressive. I definitely would go in with a concealer in like certain areas where I feel like I need it, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. You can see it definitely helped to even out my skin tone. It is a slightly lighter color, so it's bringing, like I said, some light back into it, some brightness back into my skin. I'm pretty impressed with that, actually. I wasn't sure that I was going to enjoy this formula. I definitely think if you have dry skin, this is not going to work for you. You should go with a cream product. The face oil definitely helped. When I put the swatches on, I almost felt like it looked a little bit cakey, like it was clinging to my skin. But after putting the face oil on, I feel like it looks a lot better. So I'm going to start on the other side. I'm really liking this brush for it. I do feel like this is going to oxidize a little bit. You just kind of can tell it already has a slightly tanner look on my skin. So that's something to be cautious of, and definitely, you know, give this a test. Wear it on a day where it doesn't really matter, see what happens, and then decide, you know, if it's the right thing for you. But I also feel like it's quite common for powders to oxidize a little bit. My skin feels quite smooth with it. Again, I really think that that face oil was a game changer and definitely helped underneath this. It's a really great primer. That is not affordable clean beauty, but that's the Kjaer Weis Beautiful oil. It's one of my favorite prepping oils before putting on makeup. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the way that my base is looking. Again, my skin feels really smooth. Like I said, the oil I think does a lot, but I do think that this is laying very smooth on my skin. I don't see it clinging to any dry patches as of right now, and I'm pretty happy with the coverage. So the last three things that you get in this set is a blush, a bronzer, and a setting powder. Personally, I would have rather seen a blush, a bronzer, and an eyeshadow, just because I feel like you don't really need a powder on top of a powder, but that's just my own opinion. So why don't we start with the blush? So I'm taking that same cap that was on the foundation, screwing it onto this one, and shaking it a little bit to get some of the product out, otherwise this gets very messy. It's not quite as pigmented as I thought it was going to be. I always feel a little bit nervous with powder blushes because I feel like with creams you can kind of work them into your skin, and as they warm up they start to fade, but with powder it's kind of like once you put it on it's really there. I'm not finding this quite as easy to blend in as the powder foundation. I feel like it's grabbing a little bit. I'm going to try a different brush and see if that helps. I'm actually just going to go in with the brush that I use for foundation. Yeah, it's taking quite a bit to actually work this onto my face. The color is pretty itself, but it's definitely grabbing at certain areas. Maybe because it doesn't have that oil underneath, and so my skin is already quite dry from the powder I just put over top. I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see some of the luminosity. I feel like I put on a lot of product, but not a lot is showing up everywhere. It's just kind of like concentrated right here where I first laid it down. Go in with the bronzer. I'm just peeling off the little thing again. Again, using that same first cap, placing it over and then tipping it over to shake it out. And this, before I actually put it on my face, I'm gonna put it on my eyes as a little shadow. It's quite subtle again. Definitely a lot of luminosity from this bronzer, and it does make quite a pretty eyeshadow. Bring it underneath my eyes as well. It's definitely quite warm toned, a little bit orangey, so I'm gonna have to be careful applying this to my face, making sure not to apply too much. So I'm actually gonna grab that same brush that I was using for my blush, and the fact that there's a little bit of blush left on it isn't a bad thing. It's gonna kind of help blend the two colors together. I'm just gonna start up by my temple and work my way under and around the blush. I'm just gonna apply a little bit of mascara. This is actually Well People, which is another brand that has some affordable products, and they're also available like a variety of stores like Target, so it's a little bit more accessible. So the last and final product to try out is this finishing powder, which they say to dust all over your face. Like I said, I would rather have an eyeshadow than a finishing powder in this set, just because I feel like you don't really need a finishing powder if you're wearing a powder foundation. You can just kind of apply more of the powder foundation to the areas that you need it, but I'm willing to give it a try. So I'm just going to shake a little in that cap again and take my powder brush and apply to the areas that I need it. This actually feels like quite a brightening powder. I don't know if I'd want it in this kit. I do think it's a really nice finishing powder, so I might buy this separately, especially if I had like the cream starter kit instead. To finish off this look, and the last product that I'm going to try from them is this Naturale Sustain Matte Lip Stain in the color On Point. And I've swatched this before but never tried it, and it's quite a thick formula. I don't know if mine's a little bit dried out or if this is just how thick they actually are. But because it's so thick, I'm actually going to apply it to the back of my hand, and then I'm going to apply it with my fingers onto my lips so I can kind of control how much I'm putting on. I really like the packaging. It's quite pretty. The one thing I will say that immediately I'm not a huge fan of is the scent. It's very sweet. So I'm just tapping this on with my fingers, and it's kind of like a dark mauve-y color. It feels actually really comfortable on my lips. Definitely the finger approach, it feels way more comfortable than applying just with the doe foot. It's a little bit too thick. But I do like how it looks with my fingers. There's definitely like some nice moisture going on. You can see it has like a slight bit of shine to it, which is really pretty. It doesn't look super drying on your lips. And I can tell that a little product goes a very long way. I still have a lot left over on the back of my hand. I will say about the lip color, I'm not sure it's my favorite color. I think I'd be interested to try different colors, but it is very comfortable. And so I like the formula. So I'm not sure, again, if the lip color is for me, but the formula is really nice. I'm just gonna zoom you guys back out and then we'll talk about some final thoughts. So overall, I think this starter kit idea is a great one. I think that more brands should do it because it is hard to actually go out and find places to try clean beauty unless you live in like kind of a big city or you have a store like Aaliyah, Credo, or the Detox Market around you. So I think starter kits are really essential for the clean beauty industry, and I'm really happy that All Natural has kind of like like taken the step to do it. $25 for this seems very reasonable to me, especially because you do get that $10 voucher towards your full product purchase. I think sending 3 shades is a great idea. I was definitely skeptical about finding my color match in here, but now that it's kind of blended out and I've let it sit for a while, I think it is slightly on the tanner side. I know on camera it might not pick up, but it is slightly on the tanner side. I might be better off with the fair range, but it's certainly doable. And I think I'll end up probably using these as more finishing powders on top of a cream foundation, just because I tend to gravitate more towards cream foundation. They did lay so much better with a face oil or some sort of moisture underneath them. If you have very dry skin, I would not recommend this. In fact, I just don't recommend powders in general, just because they will cling to dry areas. It's very, very challenging to find a powder that won't. But if you're somewhere in that like normal to oily range, then these could be great to check out. And I will say, for those dry skin people out there, they do have a cream starter kit as well, so you can check that out. As far as the blush goes, I actually wasn't a huge fan of the blush. I felt like it kind of clung to certain areas. I still really feel like it's heavily concentrated where I first laid it down, and then it was harder to blend out, and it wasn't as pigmented as I really wanted it. I'm also not a huge powder blush person, so that's, you know, just like take what I say with a grain of salt. I just find it difficult to blend out, and although the shade is pretty, I just would want like a little bit more pigment for it. The bronzer was surprisingly a lot easier to blend out. I really like it on my eyes actually as an eyeshadow. It might be slightly too orange for me on my skin tone. However, I think it looks okay, especially if it blends out, which I found the bronzer to be pretty easy to blend out. And I actually really like the setting powder. Like I said, I think in a starter kit, I would have preferred an eyeshadow. But in general, I think this product is really great. It's definitely a brightening powder. I can see it being wonderful for underneath your eyes, and I think that's where I'll try it next. And as far as the Sustain Lip Stain goes, as I said, I think the packaging is really pretty, and they did a really nice job. This is, you know, an affordable price point, but the packaging still looks really beautiful. The color is more so I could see it on my mom. She definitely has a skin tone that would go for this color, but I really like how comfortable the formula feels on your lips. It's pretty thick, so I would recommend actually applying it to the back of your hand and then tapping it on with your fingers, but I do, like I said, I really like how it feels once it's actually on your lips. The only thing that I'm not a huge fan of is the smell, just because it's quite strong. But again, depending on how much you apply, that might or might not affect you. Overall, I will say the price point of Naturale seems great, and considering the quality of the products, I think that's wonderful. I would definitely be interested in purchasing the full size of both the setting powder and the foundation in my shade. I just think that it's really pretty. I think it gives you really natural, wonderful coverage, and I'm very impressed with it. And I'd be also interested in trying more of those Sustain lip stains in a different color. So overall, those are my thoughts on this brand. A huge thank you to Naturale for sending these products my way to give a try. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you have other affordable brands that you are interested in, so that way I can start featuring them more and more. And yeah, I hope that this showed you guys that you can find some great products at a really wonderful price point, and you don't have to spend so much money to start using clean beauty. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this, and make sure to subscribe down below for videos always featuring clean green beauty. If you're not new to my channel, then still a huge massive thank you for watching. Really appreciate you guys coming back week after week, and we are so close to 5,000. I'm getting really excited for the giveaway, so make sure that you're spreading the word and telling your friends and family so we can get there faster. Just very excited about the giveaway. So anyway, that's all I have for you guys this week. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night or whenever you're watching this, and I will see you guys soon. All right, guys, bye.